Hello, everyone. My name is Kaya Weston, and I'm a third-year undergraduate student at OSU. I am studying Environment, Economy, Development, and Sustainability. For my final SIA project, I will be presenting on the proposed development of Fairfax Peaks in Lorton, Virginia. So the project in question is the development of the largest indoor ski resort in North America. Additionally, this development is planned to occur on top of a partially active landfill, that being the I-95 landfill located in Lorton, Virginia. The project has already received approval from the Fairfax County Supervisory Board, which is the regulatory governing body of Lorton, Virginia. Currently, the project is in the environmental impact assessment and public processing phase. The indoor ski resort will feature a snow sports facility, a hotel, a restaurant, a sky bar, a 1,500-foot skiing slope, a tubing hill, a zipline course, and more. The image depicted on the computer shows a rough rendering of what the facility might look like during its initial phase. Under the proposal, Alpine X will lease the county-owned landfill land and will serve as the developer of Fairfax Peak, while Snow World USA will be the owner and operator of the new snow sports facility upon completion. The project is expected to generate 1,300 jobs directly through both construction and in-facility workers and 1,500 indirect jobs. It is also projected to generate $1 million in tax revenue annually and to attract 400,000 visitors yearly. So to give you a little more information about Lorton and why it was chosen for this project spot, it was actually handpicked for multiple reasons. It's a prime geographical location, being 20 miles from DC, which has a population of over 2 million people, and it borders the I-95 highway, leading to easy travel for recreational attendees. Additionally, the recent discontinuation of the Lorton landfill contract has resulted in the availability of 489 acres of space. The Lorton landfill is a historical example of environmental injustice in the community. Citizens forced the non-renewal of the landfill contract in hopes of seeing a land use change. So this project presents a unique opportunity to fulfill the wants of Lorton locals. If you look at the image depicted on the computer, you will see Lorton inset in a larger geographical area. So to give you some more information about Lorton, Lorton became a small penal colony in 1910, started through a grant. After many troubling years towards the end of the prison's lifetime, with multiple prison riots and fires occurring near extensive suburban development, the prison was shut down in 2002. What was formerly a multi-complex prison can be seen pictured below and is now the Lorton Workhouse Arts Center, a local community event and artistic space with regular classes and exhibits. Lorton is ethnically diverse. Its population is 41.2% white, 30.3% African American, 16.6% Asian American, 6.7% other ethnicities, and 4.3% two or more ethnicities. The median household income in Lorton is $105,000 and $856. Geographically, this is lower than the surrounding areas. The predominant industry in Lorton is the healthcare and social services industry. It encompasses about 15% of local workers. Food insecurity in Lorton is rather high, especially compared to surrounding areas. The county boasts a 4% food insecurity level, whereas Lorton has a food insecurity level of 11% of the population. Lorton is additionally home to 4 out of the 6 waste disposal sites in the county. This is seen as an environmental injustice, as the surrounding less diverse and wealthier areas face no similar environmental hazards. Active community effort has gone into fighting the continuation of numerous waste contracts. To explain my choice for my comparative community, I've prepared this slide. Springfield, Virginia is another census-designated place, located 7.2 miles northeast of Lorton. Its size is 7.9 square miles, and it has a population density of 2,869 individuals per square mile. Comparatively, Lorton has a size of 5.4 square miles and a population density of 3,508 individuals per square mile. Both of the proposed projects focus around major recreational facilities. In September of 2018, Springfield became home to the St. James, which is a 450,000 square foot sports, wellness, and entertainment complex, complete with a FIFA regulation-sized field house, 2 NHL regulation-sized rinks, squash courts, golf simulators, batting cages, an indoor water park, climbing and bouldering spaces, a restaurant, and more. The size and characteristics of the projects, along with the similar cultural and geographical background of Springfield, make it a prime fit to be the best comparative study for the development of Fairfax Peaks. The space the Fairfax Peaks main recreational center is expected to take up is estimated to be between 450 and 500,000 square feet, and the project budgets between the two projects are only $0.2 million off. To tell you more about how I developed the public involvement process, I've prepared this slide. I split the public involvement process for this SIA into a scoping period and a public involvement period. During the scoping stage, interviews will be performed with key informants, specifically from the Fairfax County Supervisor Board, Alpine X, the Southeast Fairfax Development Corporation, and the South County Federation. The South County Federation is a local citizen action group that is very active in the community and comprises nearly all homeowner associations in Lorton. The amount of time allotted for this scoping stage has been determined to be 30 days. During the public involvement period, the public involvement process will include advisory groups hand-selected to be representative of Lorton, in addition to employing the Delphi technique to provide industry and community expertise when delving into the effects of this project. The allotted time for the public involvement period has been determined to be 30 to 60 days. Lorton is a minority-majority CDP. However, minorities are still disproportionately affected by issues of food security, homelessness, and environmental injustices in Lorton. It is therefore necessary to target individuals adjacent to the proposed development site and to specifically engage with African American organizations and individuals through the combination of the aforementioned techniques. As Fairfax Peaks will be the largest indoor ski resort in the nation, it will have immense effects on population influxes and industry in Lorton, Virginia. The 5 most important categories of impacts to be evaluated during its SIA are therefore the presence of recreational residents, the change in occupational opportunities, the presence of an outside agency, land acquisition and disposal, and the change in community infrastructure. This chart outlines the suspected findings and significance of each impact category. Within the presence of recreational residents, it is suspected that this will increase traffic congestion in addition to increasing the tax revenue and economic activity. Given that Lorton is already a very traffic-heavy area, given its proximity to a highway and DC, the traffic congestion should be negligible. Therefore, the significance of this impact is high and positive. The second impact is changes in occupational opportunities. It is suspected that there will be a large influx of individuals seeking work coming to Lorton. This is largely because Lorton boasts a very good unemployment rate of only 2%, much lower than the national average. The influx of available jobs will result in workers flooding to the area. The significance of this impact is medium and could be both positive and negative. The third impact is the presence of an outside agency. The suspected finding with the outside agency is that there will be potential community acceptance or disapproval of the agency. There is also a large potential for cultural change due to the switch to a more recreational-based economy. The significance of this impact is high and once again can be either positive or negative, dependent on primarily the level of community acceptance given to Snow Zone USA. The fourth impact category is land acquisition and disposal. While the change to the indoor ski facility is overwhelmingly a positive land use change, there is the potential for environmental hazards. The positive land use change is of medium significance, whereas the potential environmental hazards is of high negative significance. The environmental hazards are presented as risks due to the construction on top of a landfill that has not yet been discontinued from use. The final impact category is change in community infrastructure, and the suspected finding is the increased need for housing that may overtake the current green space that exists in Lorton. There will also be an increased services needs due to the increase of workers needing housing and other facilities. The significance of this impact is high and most likely negative, especially if development is not curbed to allow for Lorton to catch up with the recreational facility and the needs of its community. I have prepared 3 mitigation strategies for the 3 most important negative impacts. So for impact 3, the presence of outside agencies, I suggest that Snow World USA and Alpine X maintain open communication with the community throughout both construction and operation of the facility. The owner, Alpine X, should allocate a representative to be present at South County Federation meetings, which is the local community organization with the most community power. The owner, being Snow World USA, should also establish a partnership with the Lorton Workhouse Arts Center. This would help curb any changes to culture and would show the community that Snow World USA is dedicated to embracing Lorton rather than taking over its economy. For mitigation strategies for the 4th impact, that being land acquisition and disposal, it is going to be required that Environmental Regulatory Board of Fairfax County topologically surveys the land prior to construction to ensure for no environmental hazard that would require construction to not be continued. Additionally, routine testing for surface level environmental contamination during the 36 to 48 month construction period should occur at a minimum of weekly. And lastly, areas within 3 acres of active landfill zones should be deemed zero occupation zones, as only part of the landfill is active and only a very small part of it. This should present no issue, as the landfill is 489 acres in total. Mitigation strategies for the 5th impact, being change in community infrastructure, include that the developer, Alpine X, should be responsible for providing temporary housing necessary for workers during the construction period. Additionally, the owner, being Snow World USA, should limit infrastructural expansion on a timeline basis to be approved by the Southeast Fairfax Development Corporation. This will enable Lorton to catch up to any development that the Snow World USA wants to continue to add on to Fairfax Peaks. Lastly, the developer and owner should plan to build a second hotel on site of Fairfax Peaks in order to prevent steep property value rise in Lorton. There is a potential for gentrification to occur in Lorton, and this should be avoided at all costs, as it is unfair to the residents, and the property values can be expected to escalate if proper housing is not provided for recreational weekend visitors, in addition to workers. The monitoring plan to ensure the proper mitigation and low impact as a result of the development that has been created includes the creation of a monitoring committee under the South County Federation. This committee will exist for a minimum of 5 years and will be a combination of community members that will be elected to the committee through the annual voting process that the South County Federation routinely holds. The required members to be on this committee in order to ensure proper communication channels will include an advisory board member at Alpine X and Snow World. Additionally, on the committee will be an environmental regulator from the Fairfax County Parks Department to ensure that environmental contamination and hazards are being correctly protected against for constituents of Lorton. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope you learned a lot about Lorton and this intended development. All in all, I expect that this project will be completed without a hitch and will actually bring many positive benefits to the area of Lorton, Virginia. Thank you.